Hello there, and welcome to class today. We're going to look at section 1.6, some rules for differentiation. We've already been over a few rules. We're going to remind you of rules 1 and 2, and then we're going to look at 3 again. It's just a little variation from a power rule that we've been using. Rule number 1 says that if we have a constant times a function, that we can just take that constant out, pull him to the front, and it's just the constant times that derivative, where k is some constant. All right, so that makes that one pretty easy. We just have a constant to just take the derivative and just multiply that by the constant. The sum rule, number 2, says if you have the derivative of two functions being added together, just take the derivative of each function independently and add them. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. And number 3, not quite so straightforward. So it's called the general power rule, and we want to take the derivative of some function raised to a power r with respect to x. All right, so what we're going to do is the general power drop. We're going to take that power, bring him down front. There's my r sitting right there. Then we're going to have my function left over, and he will now be to the power r minus 1. And then we're going to take the derivative of that function. We sometimes call this, this is a variation of a chain rule, because you're going to take the derivative of the outside, leaving the inside alone, times the derivative of the inside, which is basically what this is. So let's look at this function. Now, I can't really take the derivative with any one of these rules, but I can rewrite that given function to look like, well, I'm wanting to take the derivative. Okay, so this is a given function. We're going to differentiate it. This function is 1 over the quantity x cubed plus x plus 1. And we're just going to rewrite that. That's all I've done here is just rewrite that to the power of negative 1. So I take that x cubed plus x plus 1 and just rewrite it to the power 1 so that now we've written it as a rational expression with a negative exponent, and we can just use that general power rule. We're going to drop that negative 1, bring him down front, and then you'll see the negative 1 has been dropped. He's down front. We're now at negative 1 minus 2, minus 1 equals negative 2. So there he sits right there. Then I still have to take the derivative of that inside function, which this is just a general polynomial that we've been working with as before. So we're just going to say that that's 3x squared plus 1 plus 0. So let's watch us do that. Oh, they're going to show you take the derivative of each one using the sum rule. And then we have our 3x squared plus 1 plus 0. Now, we probably want to make it look a little prettier than that because that really doesn't look good. So we need to simplify it, and simplifying it one more time. And then I kind of like this if it's written on the top, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there we go. So there is the derivative of that initial function where we had 1 over x cubed plus x plus 1. So quite a long process for this one. This is one of the harder ones that you'll do, so that's why I chose these. Got another one. This one is another tough one. It's got a constant multiplier of 45. It has 1 plus x plus the square root of x in the denominator. What a mess. We want to take the derivative of that function, so we're going to begin to differentiate. We've got to rewrite this thing. We're going to rewrite it as a constant, 45, and then I'm going to take this denominator, this 1 plus x plus the square root of x to the negative 1, and I'm going to write that to the negative 1. So I'm going to rewrite the rational expression with a negative exponent, and then I'll be able to use that power drop rule along with that constant multiplier. This 45, I'm just going to throw it out front. So if you'll notice, he got thrown out front here, and now I just need to deal with this dude right here. So I'm going to use that general power drop. I'm going to take this -1, bring him down front. I'll do the -1 -1 and write him to the -2. So there all of that is, the -1 being brought out front. Now I have my 1 plus x plus the square root of x, all raised to the -2. And lastly, I need to take the derivative of that inside function, that 1 plus x plus the square root of x. So taking and using my sum rule so that I can take the derivative of each one, I'm going to say that the derivative of 1 is 0, the derivative of x is 1, and the derivative of x to the 1/2, which is the square root of x, I'm going to drop this 1/2 down front, and then I'll do 1/2 minus 1 and say that that is -1/2. And that's my new power on my x right there. So just rewriting that again, getting rid of that 0 and then saying, all right, I'm going to next put some things in the denominator, make this thing look a little prettier because I don't want to leave it with negative exponents, of course. So here we go. You'll notice my -45. I have taken the 1 plus x plus the square root of x, put him into the denominator with a power of 2, and now I have this mess right here, which I'm going to slide everything over so I can just have it in one tidy little lump. And as ugly as that is, I'm going to leave it because this is simplified as it can get. All right, now some of these are fairly straightforward and some of them are a mess like these two were. So if you have any questions at all, you be sure and send me an email, rweaver10@alaska.edu, and I sure will be happy to answer any questions that you have. And y'all have a nice day. Thank you.